I want you to close your eyes for a second. Imagine the absolute crushing silence of the Egyptian desert at night.
Mm.
We tend to think of the desert as this hot baking oven, right? But at night, it just flips. It's freezing.
Completely. And the darkness isn't just an absence of light. It feels heavy, like it's pressing down on you.
Yes, exactly. And the only thing you can see are the stars, which the source material describes so beautifully as cold pearls strung across the sky.
It's a very specific kind of isolation. It's the kind of environment where your mind, it starts to play tricks on you.
Every shadow looks like a threat.
The wind howls through the date palms. Yeah.
And in that vast, empty void, picture two figures. They're on horses that are barely even standing up. Mouths foaming, the riders are just slumped over, backs broken from exhaustion.
They're running for their lives.
And behind them is a force that doesn't sleep, doesn't eat.
And doesn't stop.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are stepping right into the boots of the fugitive. We're analyzing the latest turning point in the Chasing Death saga.
The moment the net starts to tighten.
We're going to cover the royal intrigue, the hunt, and one of the most tense near-miss scenes I have ever read.
The mission today is really to unpack this collision course these characters are on. We aren't just looking at a map of Egypt and Syria. We're looking at a clash of wills.
A huge one.
On one side, you have the queen's, call it divine conviction, and on the other, you have a boy's sheer will to survive.
So let's go back to the source, the palace. Queen Aria, she is in a state.
Her plan is completely fallen apart.
Right. The plan seems so solid. Bring Zayn in, check him for birthmarks, prove he was the lost prince. But he's gone.
Vanished into the night.
And her reaction to that is just crucial, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. A rational person might think, okay, maybe he ran because he's scared. But Aria operates on confirmation bias.
So to her,
the fact that he ran is proof. Yeah. It proves his identity. If he were just a nobody, why run? Flight is an admission of importance.
But she can't just launch an army based on a hunch. She needs certainty.
She needs the mark.
And the source material gets very specific about this. I mean, it's bizarrely precise. She's looking for a black mark on the right arm.
Specifically shaped like a mustard seed.
A mustard seed? That is such a tiny detail.
It is, and that's why it matters. If she was looking for, a generic mole or a scar, that's one thing. But a mark shaped like a mustard seed on a specific limb.
That's proof?
That is the kind of biological proof that kingdoms are built on. She tells her advisor, Charmin, that if they could just see that arm, the debate ends.
But the boy's gone, so she turns to the next best thing.
Morik, the man who raised him.
In this interrogation scene, wow, it felt like watching a bomb disposal expert at work. She summons Marek, no games.
She asks him point blank, is Zayn truly your son?
What a question.
And Marek is in an absolutely impossible position here. If he says no, he's the prince, he's admitting to treason for hiding the heir for 15 years.
Execution.
And if he says, yes, he's my son, he might be lying to a monarch, which is also a death sentence if he's caught.
So what does he do?
He doubles down.
Of course he does.
He looks the Queen of Egypt in the eye and swears on his life. He says, as certain as I am that I stand before your majesty, I am even more certain that Zayn is my son.
He even throws in details, right, about sacrifices.
Oh, yeah. Sacrifices to the gods when the boy was born. He's building a complete picture.
Do you think the queen buys it?
She doesn't know what to buy. And that's the brilliance of Marek's defense.
Yeah.
He creates just enough doubt to stay alive, but not enough to stop the hunt.
So she dismisses him, but she's left in this agonizing limbo.
Is he a loyal father or a master manipulator?
Yeah.
And that uncertainty is what pushes her over the edge. She's done with questions. She needs a hunter.
Enter Jax the Black. Now, the text describes him in a way that immediately sets him apart. He's called a special slave.
That terminology is so significant. In this context, a special slave isn't, a field worker or a servant. He is completely outside the normal hierarchy.
He's a tool.
He's a weapon, a spy, an assassin. He answers only to the queen. He is the person you call when you want a problem to disappear without anyone knowing.
And he is good at his job. He walks in, bows, and just immediately drops intel that the queen doesn't even have.
He knows Zayn is heading for Syria. He doesn't guess. He states it as a fact.
That competence is what makes him so terrifying. He's not a brute. He's an intelligence officer.
He has a network better than the queen's own eyes.
So the queen gives him the mandate. Take 2 men, take the fastest horses and go. But she adds a condition.
Right. She says, do not harm him in any way. Be gentle.
Such a paradox for a man like Jax. You're telling this ruthless hunter to chase down a fugitive but treat him like porcelain?
It confirms everything. It confirms that the queen absolutely believes Zayn is her son. You don't tell a bounty hunter to be gentle unless the target is precious.
And she believes this whole pursuit is God's will.
That phrase comes up a lot. It is the ultimate justification. When a ruler believes their personal desires are aligned with a divine plan.
All the moral guardrails just come off.
Exactly. It justifies the terror she's about to unleash.
So Jack sets off, and this is where the atmosphere really shifts. The source describes them stopping briefly by a riverbank, just to let the horses drink.
And then plunging into the night.
Navigating by starlight. Jax knows the routes. He knows Zayn has a head start a day and a night, but Jax is on fresh Arabian steeds. He is closing that gap.
And the contrast here is key. Jax is efficient, rested, equipped. Now cut to Zayn and Polka.
They're a wreck.
A total wreck. They've been riding for 24 hours straight. The source says their backs are broken.
I think we often gloss over that in movies. You know, we see people galloping for days, but in reality...
In reality, it's agony. If you aren't conditioned for it, 12 hours in a saddle will lock up your muscles. You're dehydrated. You can barely walk. And Zayn is 15.
And Polka's a servant, not a soldier.
Right. They are physically shattering. They're not thinking strategically anymore. They are just trying to stop the pain.
Which leads them to the mistake.
The mistake.
Polka sees a flickering light in the dunes. He begs to stop. He's hoping it's an inn.
Desperation makes you see what you want to see. Zayn is pragmatic, but he's also just a tired kid. He agrees.
They approach this building. It's surrounded by date trees, totally isolated. They knock. An old woman opens the door.
And she tells them flat out, this is not an inn.
But like everyone in this world, it seems, she's motivated by one thing.
Gold.
Zayn pays her, and suddenly her hospitality is for sale.
I love the description of the interior here. It's not cozy, it's unsettling. There's a fire casting these weird dancing shadows.
And the room they get just has dry grass on the floor for bed.
Polka starts losing it. He's whispering to Zayn that this is a house of ghosts, and the woman is a witch.
He sees shadows and thinks spirits. But look at Zayn here. This is a real moment of maturity.
It is. He just dismisses the ghost talk. He says, essentially, ghosts don't take gold coins.
He focuses on the hot milk, the bread, the physical safety. He pushes down the fear to focus on survival.
And they are so tired, they pass out immediately.
Yeah.
Deep, deep exhaustion-fueled sleep.
And this is where the story just turns into a full-on thriller.
The timing is excruciating. A few hours later, a knock at the door.
It's Jax.
The worst possible coincidence. Or, maybe it's God's will again. Jax and his men have arrived at the exact same remote house.
And the old woman, she's consistent. She doesn't care who they are. She takes a coin for each man.
And she puts them in a room.
Not just any room.
The room directly next to Zayn's. Separated by nothing but a thin wall.
I was actually holding my breath reading this part.
Yeah.
Zayn wakes up from the noise. He's lying there in the dark on the dry grass. Listening to the men who are hunting him settle in just a few feet away.
And he hears Jax speaking. And this is such a crucial character moment for our villain. Jax thinks he's alone with his men.
He doesn't know his prey is listening.
So we get to hear his true, unfiltered ego.
His men are worried. They ask him, what if we don't catch him? And Jax he basically laughs at them. He says, that's impossible.
And then he says the line, that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler.
That's a spoiler. It's so arrogant. So chilling.
It is. It implies the end of the story is already written.
Mm.
He's not guessing. He's telling them the ending.
Mm.
And he explains exactly who he is.
He's called Jax the Black.
Not just for his skin, but for his deeds, his ruthless deeds. He takes pride in it.
He boasts about it. He says something like, you don't get to my level with a weak will and a soft heart.
And think about Zayn on the other side of that wall. He's 15. He's likely never heard a man speak about violence with pride before.
This isn't an abstract threat anymore. It's not the queen wants me.
No, it's this specific ruthless man is 10 feet away and he enjoys destroying people.
It shifts the stakes from capture to, well, annihilation. Zayn wakes Polka up, and poor Polka is confused.
He's asking why the queen wants them. Zayn admits there's a deep secret, but he knows now is not the time for a history lesson.
No, now is the time to run.
And the escape sequence is so delicate. If they make one sound, a floorboard creak, a stumble, it's over.
They wrap shawls around their faces.
Which is ironic.
Polka was afraid of ghosts.
And now, to survive, They have to become ghosts.
Yeah,
They have to drift through that common room, past the sleeping owner, and out the cellar door.
They get outside, the date trees are swaying in the wind, which helps cover their noise.
They untie the horses, and somehow they ride off under that dark, shiny sky. They escape by inches.
But the tension doesn't release. Morning comes. Jax walks into the common room, stretching, ready for breakfast.
And the old woman, who honestly is the catalyst for all of this, starts complaining.
She's annoyed. She says, "Those strange people left without eating breakfast," and you can just see Jax's ears perk up.
What's strange people?
She describes them perfectly. Young boy, blue eyes, paid with gold.
The reaction from Jax is so visceral, the source says he drops his bread.
It's the adrenaline spike. He realizes the truth instantly. He was sleeping next to his target. He failed.
And for a man like Jax, failure isn't just unprofessional, it's dangerous. The Queen does not tolerate failure.
They mount up immediately, and here is a detail I really loved from the source material: the sand.
Oh, the hardened sand from the morning dew, yeah.
It's a brilliant environmental detail.
It is. Soft sand slows horses down, it's like running in mud. But the night air in the desert brings moisture, dew. And in the early morning, that moisture creates a crust. It's hard, it's fast.
So instead of slogging through dunes,
They can gallop flat out. The environment itself is speeding up the chase. Jax is coming at them like a missile.
but Zayn and Polka, they make it. They reach the Syrian border, bribe the guards, get into Damascus.
They find sanctuary at the home of Merrick's sister. It really feels like the finish line.
And the Anne welcomes them. She performs this ritual that really stood out to me. She dips her finger in olive oil and rubs it on Zayn's forehead.
May God protect you. It's such a grounding moment. Olive oil has these deep roots in the region. It represents healing, anointing, peace.
It's the total antithesis of the cold desert and the steel of Jax's sword.
It connects Zayn back to a family, to a tradition. It feels safe.
But it's not safe, is it?
No, because the source gives us one final image. Just as that oil is touching Zayn's forehead. Just as he takes that first real breath of relief.
Jax and his companions are entering the gates of Damascus.
They are in the same city.
The sanctuary is an illusion. The walls of Damascus won't stop a man like Jax.
It's chilling. They've run hundreds of miles, survived the desert, outsmarted the hunter, and yet the hunter is still right there.
It raises a really profound question, doesn't it, about the nature of this story?
Is Zayn's escape the result of his own will? His decision to listen at the wall, to sneak out? Or is the pursuit just inevitable? The Queen called it God's will. Jax called his victory a spoiler.
It feels like these forces of destiny are converging on Damascus, and no amount of running can actually break the link.
And think about the psychological toll on Zayn now. He knows. He knows the face of the man hunting him. He knows the voice.
Every shadow in Damascus.
Every footstep behind him in the market. He's going to think it's Jax. That level of paranoia changes a person. The boy who left Egypt is gone. The fugitive in Syria is someone else entirely.
That is a terrifying thought, to be 15 and know that a spoiler of lives is walking the same streets as you.
It connects right back to what we said at the start. This isn't just a chase, it's an awakening. Zayn is waking up to the reality that he is central to a massive, dangerous game.
And the olive oil on his forehead might protect his soul.
But it won't stop a blade.
Well, on that ominous note, we have reached the end of this leg of the journey. The pieces are on the board in Damascus. The Queen waits in Egypt. The hunter is prowling the city streets.
And the prince, if that's what he is hiding in plain sight. It's a powder keg waiting for a spark.
And we will be there to watch it explode. But before we go, I want to leave you, the listener, with something to think about. Imagine you're in that room at the inn. The walls are thin. You hear a voice describing exactly how they're going to catch you. Do you freeze? Do you panic? Or do you do what Zayn did? Wrap a shawl around your face and walk silently past the fire. How much control do you really have when the world has already decided your fate?
Destiny versus will. The oldest battle of them all.
Thanks for diving deep with us. Keep your ears open. You never know who's in the next room.
Stay safe out there.